Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled among rolling hills, there was a young woman named Elara. She had always been fascinated by words. Growing up, she would wander the meadows, collecting wildflowers and thoughts, weaving them together into stories in her mind. The villagers loved to listen to her, for her words were like magic. They could heal wounds, soothe hearts, and light up even the darkest of days. Elara's gift wasn't one of grand speeches or booming declarations. It was the quiet art of gentle persuasion, of speaking to the soul in the softest of whispers. Her voice carried the rhythm of a river, calm and unhurried, yet powerful enough to carry boats downstream. She spoke in the language of kindness, and her words seemed to bloom like flowers in spring. One day, the king of the land sent word that he sought the most gifted storyteller to entertain him in his palace. Elara, despite her humble nature, felt a flutter of excitement. She packed her bag with a few simple belongings, kissed her family goodbye, and set off towards the grand palace, a place she had only heard about in stories. Upon arriving, she was ushered into a room filled with nobles and courtiers. They sat in plush chairs, their faces painted with impatience. The king, a man with sharp features and a stern countenance, sat at the center, waiting. Elara stood before him, feeling a rush of nerves. "Tell us a story," the king commanded. "Make us laugh, make us cry, make us remember." Elara smiled gently and began. She spoke of a young bird learning to fly for the first time, unsure of the winds but trusting in the sky. She spoke of a child who lost a toy but found a friend instead. She spoke of the moon and the stars, of love and loss, of the power of small things to change the world. As she spoke, the room fell silent. Even the courtiers, who had come with laughter on their lips and skepticism in their hearts, found themselves moved by the simple beauty of her words. The king, too, sat still, his hard exterior cracking as her story wove its magic. When Elara finished, there was a long silence. Then, the king rose to his feet. His eyes were moist, and his voice, when he spoke, was softer than anyone had ever heard. "Your story," he said, "has touched my heart in a way no words ever have. You have reminded me that it is not grand speeches or lavish displays that make life beautiful. It is the quiet, everyday moments we often overlook." Elara, humbled, bowed her head. The king, moved by her wisdom, invited her to stay in the palace as the royal storyteller. But Elara, with a smile, declined. She had learned that the greatest stories were not told in palaces, but in the hearts of those who listened with love. And so, Elara returned to her village, where the hills whispered stories and the flowers bloomed with every word she spoke.